Via Skype, Illinois State Senator Kirk Dillard joins us. State Senator Kirk Dillard, welcome back to the Big 550 KTRS here in St. Louis.
Hey, it's great to be with you again. Love it.
Last time you were with us, we threw our significant political support behind your gubernatorial campaign, and I wish I had 194 more votes. You lost by 194 votes?
I did, and it shows, if anything, McGraw, every vote counts. It's in Illinois, that would be about one vote per county. Not a vote per precinct, but a vote per county. But for 193 misguided people, Illinois would be very different today.
It's actually worse than that. If you would have had 100 people change their votes, right? If you would have had, instead of, the 100 people vote one way, they voted the other way.
It's funny. I had an engineer run my campaign for the state senate, and he said, "You're absolutely right." He goes, "It's really not. It's not 193 people. It's really only 90 or so people."
Yeah. All right. So we'll get to your future ambitions here in a moment. But the Illinois legislative session has ended up, and the current governor, Quinn, has gotten himself into quite a pickle. Talk about the current session.
Well, the current session was just a debacle. Illinois has the largest unfunded pension debt of any state in America. They're still spending $2 billion more in new monies that the state can't afford than last year. They should be paying down our old bills. And yesterday, on our side of the river, sadly, shamefully, for about the 12th time under Governor Quinn and the Democrats, our credit rating has been downgraded. We have the lowest credit rating in the nation, and if you live in the land of Lincoln, it cost us more to borrow money, which means we have less money for education or for senior citizens to pay the police.
You're the smart guy in this Skype conversation. You have a pension problem. There's only two ways I see to fix it: either raise taxes and or cut benefits.
Well, we're not going to raise taxes, and the way you solve it is we are all gratefully living longer. For the newer hires, they have to work until they're older. Everybody's going to have to step up, so they're going to have to, the current employees are going to have to contribute a couple of percent to their salary. And in Illinois, half our problem was we were given compounded interest COLAs, cost of living adjustments, which were triple in excess of inflation. You got to live in the real world, and you're not going to get those extra compounded interest raises. So it's a combination of things, but we have no choice. $100 billion in debt, lowest credit rating in America. We've got to make these changes. It's not that I'm an ogre and want to do it. It's because it's the right thing to do, and I want to make sure that the people who work for us in Illinois actually have a retirement system, and that we're not insolvent when it's time for them to collect it.
Here in Missouri, Republicans have a veto-proof majority in both the House and the Senate down in Jefferson City. Very different in Springfield from your area. How do the Democrats and the Republicans work together in the legislature in Illinois?
Well, not well. In the Senate where I serve, there's 59 members, and it's 40 Democrats and 19 Republicans. It's sort of their way or the highway. And, it's interesting, and I'm coming to bring my kids, and I'm a White Sox fan, down to see the Cubs and the Cardinals the 18th and 19th of June. But Chicago controls our legislature. We're a great state. Illinois still is a phenomenal state. I view us as the capital of the Midwest. But Chicago controls our politics. And that's, aside from the Democrats, it's just Chicago. And that's an unhealthy situation where a quarter of our jobs come from agriculture. And, just outside of Chicago, there's a place called Illinois. And on the Metro East side, across from the arch on our side of the river, there's 800,000 Illinoisans. And, we need geographic as well as political balance in Illinois.
All right, which leads me to my next question. Will I be supporting you for this next governor's race? What am I supporting you going forward? What are you doing here?
I'm obviously going to announce. I wanted to wait until our legislature adjourned last Friday. My job is a state senator first. There's plenty of time for politics. But the offer and the deal still stands, McGraw. You can be the MC at my inauguration. How's that?
All right. So you are officially running for governor of the great state of Illinois.
It is. I have a unique skill set. a proven track record of making the state live within its means, and I'm the only candidate that has a plan. I call it making Illinois a destination economy for job creators, and you will see plenty of me as I try to work with others to save my state. And we are at a critical juncture.
Before I throw my considerable political weight behind your campaign again, it isn't that easy. You have to court me a little bit here. And
I will.
All right. And here's my question. It's not just enough to get out of the Republican primary. You then have to beat a Democrat from a very Democratic state. So how are you, as a Republican in this culture, going to be able to win over Democratic votes?
Well, I'm the one Republican that I think polling shows has the ability to attract independents and Democrats. My style is such that I have worked well with Democrats, and this is a heavily Democratic state. But that doesn't mean I give up my Republican principles. It's a governing style. It's been there. I've as a former governor, Jim Edgar's chief of staff, made a Democratic legislature do things it's not in its DNA to do, like live within its means. In fact, during our time, our credit rating, the only time in the state's history, went up, not down. And then I would submit in Illinois, I talked about the power of Chicago. With all due respect to downstate Illinois, and I was married in a little town in central Illinois, a population 400, and went to Western Illinois University, where the St. Louis Rams used to train. I have strong downstate roots. But I think you have to run a suburbanite with strong downstate roots to win as a Republican in Illinois. And I am the one Republican that most pundits believe is electable in a Democrat state like Illinois.
I have a shorter message you can give to Democratic voters to get them to vote for you after you win the primary. I'm thinking, and I'm sort of spitballing here for a second, but I think, hey, our party can't do any worse. How about that for a slogan?
And it is a true one. Not only did Wall Street downgrade the state's credit rating, they downgraded Pat Quinn, our governor, and the Democrats as well. This state, we need a two-party system. That's when things work best, and we need geographic balance in the state of Illinois as well. But I like yours. We can't do any worse, and I have a proven track record. I can do a lot better.
All right. So we've taken a vote here. Kirk Dillard is our guy for the governor's race in the state of Illinois. We will, all of our financial support, all of our heft, all of our intellect will be at your disposal. And we're going to try and rustle up 194 votes, and maybe we can get a couple of St. Louisans to cross the river and vote for you.
That's the way it's done in Illinois, although I don't want anybody to go to jail. But I'm going to take my kids. We're going up in the Arch. In fact, we got our reservations in the middle of June, and I'm going to get up there in that kind of musty top of the Arch, and I'm going to be looking across the river and looking for those 194 votes too.
Kirk Dillard, you're always welcome on the show, and we thank you for your friendship over the years. We love the fact that you've at least figured out how to Skype, so you're already ahead of three-quarters of the politicians over there anyway.
I have kids, and I've got a great, for that little radio station, a guy who worked for WGN in Chicago for years. So between my kids and my great radio and communication specialist, I'm in the 21st century.
Kirk Dillard, Illinois State Senator, and now candidate for the Illinois governor's race, and he is our guy to get him out of the primary, and then we'll talk in the general election. Kirk Dillard, best of luck, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Thank you. I'm in St. Louis area on our side of the river and St. Louis a lot, and it's always a pleasure. Thanks, McGraw.
You got it. Talk to you soon.